Sup everyone, and welcome to Marvel's Spider-Man. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into this game for a couple years now. I think I only got about 5 hours in. I only got to the first real boss or something. It was not very far. So I know next to nothing about what happens for the majority of this game, and I'm actually a bit fuzzy on what happens in the beginning part of the game as well. So I'm gonna be partially blind on what's going on in this game. So let's jump in to Marvel's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Is he alright?
All units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
Fisk. Oh yeah. Copyrighted music. Gonna have to mute this. Early 2000s radio-friendly rock. Whoa, let's go! Okay, enough of that. Swinging around the city is one of the most genuinely fun things I've ever done in a video game. I remember when I played this game when it first came out, I spent like 30 minutes just swinging around. Really? Spider-Man's just gonna walk right by you and you ain't gonna say nothing? Alright. These tutorials are breaking my focus. I legit hate when they do this. The stopping and starting is getting on my nerves. Maybe that's just me, but like, I would wish that they would just be like, okay, you can do this. You don't have to, but you can. And don't like stop the game, don't pause the game. There's momentum, and I want to keep that momentum up because like I'm focused on this now. And it's like, stop. Okay, go. Now stop. And then go. I'm like, ugh. Then again, I hate big long text wall tutorials even more, so yeah, this man does not miss arm day. I bet they thought they were so smart when they got these rocket launchers, but these rockets are the easiest to avoid. Oh, shit. Well, almost ate my words right there. Corrupt cops? Well, I, for one, am shocked.
Writing your memoirs? Don't forget the hyphen between spider and man. Gotta web the gun.
Winning, obviously. Combat is very comfortable in this game, very fun too, but requires a lot of momentum and a lot of focus to keep up. You gotta pay attention to that little spidey sense in your head to know when to dodge, you gotta pay attention to what enemies are around you, kind of think out your moves a second before you make them, and if you lose focus for a second, you're just gonna get hit a lot. Say, couldn't he just break out of those cuffs and, like, beat everyone up? I mean, he was lifting up giant pieces of concrete. How would those cuffs be enough to keep him there? Is that Doc Ock? Oh boy, I know where this is going. The Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus are the two Spider-Man villains I know offhand because I watched the first two Spider-Man movies back in, 2002, and then there was another one like 2005, 2004, I think. The ones with Tobey Maguire. This might seem really unrealistic, but actually 90% of engineering is just solving puzzles.
Let me explain something to you about crime bosses. Soon as one goes down, every punk with a gun, a tracksuit, and a drawer full of gold chains decides he's the next godfather. We're gonna have a gang war in the streets, but does that whip-headed moron give a damn? Of course not. He got on TV. That's what counts.
I mean, he's not wrong. Now that I'm free to roam around, you know what I need to do. That's right, climb the Empire State Building and the Freedom Tower. Because what else would you do if you could use New York City as your playground? Hold on, let me take a selfie. I genuinely hate that song, I just thought that was an appropriate line. Next thing I gotta do is fix these radio towers for Yuri, who is the, police chief or something. So while I'm fixing these towers, I'm going to sync with them and get all the current crime data sent right to me. Which, you know, I'm pretty sure is illegal, but who fucking cares? I'm Spider-Man.
All units, witness reported an active narcotics sale. Location is north of Houston. Over.
I don't fucking care about a drug deal, man. This puzzle looks really complicated. It isn't.
But I was afraid that if word got out, my family might be in danger.
Yes. I guess if you design his equipment, you're bound to be a target too.
I don't know if he should take that as a compliment or an insult. Like, is Peter here not fit enough to be Spider-Man? Okay, you know what? Take that back. Yep. I get where he's coming from. I wanted some Chinese food. Hello? Got some mapo tofu in there? Okay. Okay, so I just got a deluge of info. I got new suits, mods for the suits. I can craft them with various tokens, like these crime tokens or backpack tokens. I got this cool new suit, but I'm going to swap it out for this even cooler suit. Now that's what I'm talking about. I think this comes with the DLC, which I just bought like an hour before I started playing this. Yeah, I've been wondering, am I actually killing any of these people, or am I just knocking them out? Because Spider-Man's kind of like the good guy, you know? He's not really... I mean, he doesn't kill the supervillains, so why would he kill regular thugs? Okay, well, that guy's definitely dead. So I went and used my skill points to get all the base abilities, and I also got this new gadget thingy from Doc Ock. This thing lets me web a guy to the wall in one shot. That should be useful, except for I only get 2 uses of it. So I gotta go to this construction site, which is a front for one of Frisk's illegal activities, and take down wave after wave of his thugs. Yay. This would actually be a genuine pain in the ass if combat wasn't so fun. Wow, that was a lot of enemies. So I'm gonna fuck around a bit before continuing with the story. These towers here are akin to the synchronization points in the Assassin's Creed series. Basically, they just open up a detailed version of the map when you activate one. What group of thugs goes up onto a roof just to beat one person up? You know, it's very convenient that all these thugs wear the same clothing. Makes it real easy to pick them out from a crowd.
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity. Definitely top 5.
Really, Peter? Drugs are in your top 5? And now back to the story. I gotta go to this auction house and deal with a silent alarm. Great. A stealth section. I'm sure they took their time to flesh this mechanic out. Spoiler, they didn't. Hey, it's MJ. So to summarize that whole section, basically MJ lied about being a reporter to snoop around, guys came in and took the other woman hostage. Now I'm tasked with quietly taking them down. This part is particularly frustrating. I don't know why I can't just zip through this door here and free the hostage and then take everyone out, but that's whatever. The stealth in this game is half-assed. Because this is a combat-centric game, the stealth is just tagged on. It's just annoying, is what it is. Alright, next I gotta take on this shocker guy. No idea who he is. This fight was pretty simple. I just chase him around and dodge his attacks until you web him up. Was honestly expecting more. I think it's time I tackle some of these side quests. The first one here is pretty simple, just beat up some thugs in various locations. Unfortunately, in the middle of it is this totally unnecessary and annoying bird chasing sequence. It's just for padding, and this game's already long enough, no reason to put that there. The next one involves me tailing these people who are trying to blackmail this woman's husband here. After taking some pictures and somehow not being spotted by them while crawling all over their window, I just beat them up. So I talked to Mr. Lee here about the mask I found at the auction house, and it seemed to spook him out a bit, and I don't know, but his behavior kind of feels a bit off to me, but maybe we'll see later in the story if I'm right about that or not.
Do you think she's in trouble?
Why take the risk?
Before continuing on with the story, I decided I'd explore the rest of the map and get the last few towers that I haven't activated yet. Now I have the whole detailed map open. Heading back to the laboratory, and well, the corrupt asshole of a mayor decided to fuck over Otto. To be fair, if this is his reason for going supervillain, I get it. As long as he keeps his vengeance contained to the mayor here. But we all know that won't happen. Side note, why doesn't Peter just do something about Osborn? Smack him around a bit, throw him off a building, web him up, something, you know. Norman Osborn is not Spider-Man. Although actually I think he is the Green Goblin. Maybe that's not such a great idea. So I finally unlocked these research stations, which are yet another kind of side event that grants you a token type to use when crafting suits and such. I gotta give them credit, they at least added variety to the tedious grinding in this game. And as implied, this mission is quite pointless. I swing through some smog crowds, then take pictures of 2 cars and a smokestack, and that's it. But hey, I got a cool new suit out of it. Next up, I gotta go after Shocker again. Someone broke him out of jail, and then they were subsequently killed. I figured that last round wouldn't be my only match with this guy. So of course I gotta dress for the occasion. Hey Shocker, look! We're twins! This time we're getting a legit boss fight with this guy. He spams around electric attacks, including an electric Kamehameha. Can I get that? Please? I promise to use it responsibly. So now I'm heading to the docks, as it appears those demon guys and Fisk's men are starting a gang war, so Jameson was right. Guy over there got stuck and now he's just electrocuting himself. You know, I was just thinking, something like this is exactly what I needed.
Great, now the 3 decides to run on time.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to do it. Though what would have happened if either of the cars had missed and hit me? Just a thought. They waited until now, 6 hours in, to grant me the ability to fast travel? So Pete's dickhead landlord threw his stuff out. That should be illegal, but it isn't for some reason. Now I gotta go across the city and find my bag in a garbage truck. And hopefully Pete'll have the balls to pay the landlord a visit as well. With his fists. Okay, time for more side quests. Nothing particularly interesting happens. They're just more go here, beat these people up side quests. One thing that I did find interesting though, if you look here, those guys who I was kicking off the side of the building, they're just webbed to the side of the building. And here I thought I was murdering people.
Can't believe I haven't slept since the Fisk takedown.
Bro, what?
Gotta start
That was like 2 days ago. I'm gonna try to do another one of these research missions. Hopefully this is better than the last one. Nope, it's almost an exact carbon copy of the last mission. The only thing different is that I took pictures of 3 cars instead of 2 cars. I randomly decided to do all these black cap things to see what happens if I get all of them. The answer is a sick new suit.
I'm getting reports of a helicopter with a wrecking ball.
Oh yeah, that was my fault. Apparently Peter here didn't think the guys with the rocket launchers would, you know, use them. I hope we don't get too many people killed, because this is pretty fun. Ooh, that could have been disastrous. Good thing no one came into work today. Well, that was fun. Let's do it again sometime. Or maybe not. The next big part of the story is this Osborne rally. I had a hunch that something would go wrong here, but it was way worse than I expected. The demons basically do a terrorism and kill a lot of people, including that officer who helped us. Peter nearly dies in the process as well, which leaves me playing as Miles Morales for a bit. Jesus. I hope Peter doesn't wimp out and not absolutely eviscerate these guys. They do not deserve mercy.
Enough! We have to leave. Now!
I knew it. I knew something was off about him. The way he acted in that scene when I gave him the mask just didn't sit right with me. You know, if he just wanted to off Osborne, I wouldn't have cared. I mean, he probably deserves it anyway, but why bring everyone else into it? Per usual, I'm going to do more side quests. I like to break up the flow of the story like this so it doesn't start feeling too monotonous. First up is this screwball quest, and for once it's not just go here and beat guys up. I mean, I do that eventually, but I gotta scan these QR codes in between.
Got it.
When they kicked me out of my place, they set all my birds loose. Pidgey's the only one who found me. I've been looking everywhere for the rest of them, but with my bad leg and all...
You know what? I get around. How about I keep an eye out for him?
Let's see how many of them there are. I counted like 12. Yeah, fuck that. So these guys are Sable, Osborn's private army. They aren't fans of mine. Why they wouldn't be fans of a literal superhero, I don't know.
Everything okay?
Does Otto have a neurological disease?
We need to.
The fact that there are only 2 puzzles left locked tells me this will be one of the last times I come to this lab. My next main quest is saving the CEO of Oscorp from Lee's henchmen, which means I gotta climb all the way to the top of this building through elevator shafts. It's not a great idea to throw firebombs down an elevator shaft when you're at the top of the building. Where do you think all that smoke's gonna go, guys? Nah, I'm just gonna run this. Next up, I gotta go to this Halloween party to save this doctor guy before Lee gets to him. I'd include more footage, but they put what is definitely copyrighted music in the background, so I'm gonna have to skip most of this. They get to him first, though, no thanks to this douche nozzle in the rhino costume here. Oh, they're not gonna make me fight him, are they? Oh.
Gotta stop them from hurting each other.
By hurting them myself. Ooh, see, that's gotta be a concussion at least. The guy in the truck there is remarkably unfazed with what just happened. So I'm breaking into Osborn's office to find some evidence on this thing called Devil's Breath. Looks like he's been doing business off the record with Fisk. Corrupt politicians. Shocking, I know.
Don't do this, MJ. Don't do that, MJ. Oh, that's too dangerous, MJ. I may not have super spider powers, but I'm not made out of glass.
Bullets don't care what you're made of.
Armed military.
My doctors call it a degenerative neurological disorder.
Ah, so he does have a neurological disorder.
Toxic
That sucks.
reckless youth.
All right, put him up. Seriously? Yeah, come on. First thing. Don't let the adrenaline get to you. Breathe slow. Breathe deep. Relax. Hip square to your opponent. Let them make the first move. Now use your feet. When they go off balance, look for an opening. Boom.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Only this time, just let me have it. Right on the jaw. Okay? I can take it.
Oh, sorry.
No, no. No. It's all good. You keep that up and you'll be fine. All right. Lesson's over. Gotta go.
But just remember that in a real fight, you're going to have to do that a lot faster because the other guy's going to be actively trying to hurt you. Oh, hell, they're going to get the Devil's Breath, aren't they? Of course they are. Lee sent me into some kind of, dream state? I'm not sure what this is, and I'm not sure whether this is a boss fight with him or not. No, it is not. I just gotta destroy this mask. Well, we're fucked. Probably should have taken care of him permanently when you had the chance, but you're the good guy and they don't kill.
You think you save people, but you just make it worse. This is your fault.
Oh, like you would have done any better. You know, it's a bit weird that he would have all these things on display right here in Grand Central Station. Like, couldn't anyone with bad intentions come here and take advantage of this? Oh, speak of the devil.
I'll take care of the Devil's Breath.
No, I skipped the bomb defusing classes in school, so I'm gonna have to just wing this one.
Want to detach the wires from the battery first. Trace the wires to the other end and unplug them from there.
Okay, that's simple enough. And these look like they're right next to each other, so I just pull this one, and then... oop. And I've probably killed thousands. That's my bad. Should have been a little more careful. You know, had that been 1 inch off, we'd both be dead right now.
I don't want to hurt you! There's nothing to hurt me! Not anymore!
Well, that just means I gotta find something. Hey, I found it. Oh, that was the train's brakes, wasn't it? Well, fuck. I hope no one's walking on the street above me. You know, now that I think about it, shouldn't I be worried about that other train we ditched halfway through the... never mind. Probably doesn't matter. And with Mr. Negative finally caught and put in jail, that will end the game. I'm just kidding. Of course it doesn't. We all know where this one's going.
Wait. Where are the arms? Oh, wow. So cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Also not very concerning at all. Shit, the interface he's using is not good and could cause problems like brain damage and mood swings. Surely that won't become a problem later on.
When you're casting your vote, remember what I've done. We're all safer now than we have ever been.
You have no idea what you're in for.
So many of these supervillains have it out for Osborn. Seems like offing the one guy could avoid like half the shit that's happened.
Good use.
Don't think I'm webbing him to the side of the building. He's gone for. Oh, for real? Really? Someone attacked the truck that was carrying the Devil's Breath and stole it. Amazing job Sable is doing, aren't they? But before I can even think about caring about that, a prison riot breaks out at Rikers, and just as I was finished handling all that mess, the Supermax prison holding all the supervillains I put away is attacked. Now, all the people Spider-Man has put in jail are out and have a unanimous desire to murder the fuck out of him. Really seems like killing these guys off when you had the chance was the right call, huh, Spider-Man? This section is mainly me chasing Electro through the prison, fighting various prisoners along the way before I eventually confront him on the roof. Alright, Electro, let's do this. I got like 5 other people I need to beat, so no time for theatrics. Oh, beautiful, there are 2 of you. Make that 3. Alright, I'll be tough, but I think I could take 3 guys at once. Oh, scratch that, it's a foursome, actually. Okay, you know what? No, that 5 at once is too many. I ain't Piper Perry here. We need to do this like 1 at a time. You know what? This might be a good time to just bow out, regroup, maybe lure them out and fight them 1 by 1 before this happens. Ooh! There he is. Hi, Doc Ock. Been waiting all game to see you. And then he just throws me off a fucking building. What a dick. And after all that, Dr. Octavius releases the Devil's Breath in Times Square. So now we got a deadly virus spreading around, prisoners literally taking over parts of the city. Oh, and Osborn blamed me for all this. Can you believe that son of a bitch? So now, on top of everything else, Sable is after me too. This is just going beautifully, isn't it? First thing I gotta do is protect the precincts from the various supervillains. And by various, I mean 2. And not even that, really. I don't fight either of them. First up was Electro, who has made a makeshift electric fence around a police station, and I gotta destroy these transformers to shut it down. That's actually kinda genius. Then I gotta go deal with Rhino, and I don't even know what he did here, because this is mainly just fighting a bunch of generic enemies. And then Sable shows up and tries to kill me. So, you know the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my ally? That's basically what happened here. A little while later, after we explode Otto's secret lab, well, he exploded it, hoping I'd die in the process, we finally get our fight with Electro. This is a 2-on-1 fight with Electro and Vulture at the same time, and it's pretty badass. It takes place almost entirely while airborne, so keeping momentum and dodging at the right time are key. Electro isn't much of a problem until he decides to be one, but Vulture will constantly be trying to attack you, swooping in from the sides and launching projectiles at you. Thankfully, you can web those projectiles and throw them back at him. Right here, I died the second the cutscene triggered. I was hoping maybe I got lucky and that would save me from having to do that part again, but it did not. After defeating those 2, it's time for a battle with Scorpio. This boss fight isn't one. He injects us with a poison that causes a nightmarish acid trip, and honestly, this section is a little more drawn out than it needed to be. Basically, you need to go get 2 ingredients and then mix them for an antidote, but both times you go to get the ingredients and when you go to mix them together, you get this sequence that you need to go through, which isn't particularly hard or anything, it just feels like it's padding. Where'd my clothes go?
I think I took decontamination a little too far.
Next up is the stealth section with Miles, and have I mentioned how much I dislike the stealth sections? It's a personal thing, really. I kind of dislike any stealth that gets you an immediate game over if you fail. I feel like fighting your way out should always be an option, you know? After that, it's time to take on Rhino and Scorpion at the same time. Yes, I'm aware I said Scorpio last time. I must have been thinking of Hank Scorpio by accident. This boss fight is a little annoying. Basically, you gotta run from Rhino and then web heavy objects onto his head to stun him so you can beat him up for a little bit. After about 3 or so rounds of that, Scorpion jumps in and then you gotta do that plus dodge Scorpion's attacks. Yay, yet another stealth section. At least I get a stun gun this time. Why does everyone have the exact same voice recorder, and why do they just leave them lying around? Okay, big info dump here. Harry is not in Europe, he's sick, probably dying, needs long-term experimental treatment. Devil's Breath is the cure, or was supposed to be, but you know how that turned out. Also, Osborn and Otto created Martin Lee. I mean his condition, not some weird fanfiction shit. Martin Lee is after the anti-serum, and I gotta stop him. But first I gotta deal with his henchman, and then Sable, because this woman is either insane or stupid. But we had one small conversation, so I guess she's a friend now? I find Martin Lee torturing Osborn, and stop him instead of getting popcorn and enjoying the show. This leads to a well-overdue proper showdown with Martin. This fight plays out much like the last, with him shooting energy attacks at you and you needing to dodge them, except for you have a lot more room now, and his attacks are a little bit harder to predict.
Fight it, Martin! You can walk away!
No! Osborn must suffer!
See, this is what happens when you don't take opportunities when they present themselves. Now you gotta fight a Dark Souls boss. After all that's wrapped up, Doc Ock shows up, kidnaps Norman, takes the anti-serum, and then beats the ever-loving shit out of Peter. Peter, nearly dead for the second time in the last couple days, gets brought back to Feast, finds out May has the disease and is on death's door, so of course he heads out to find Octavius, despite the myriad of injuries he likely has. This guy's friggin' invincible.
The truth is, you were only ever worth a damn when you worked for me. The truth is, you could never accept that I'm better than you. You're a failure, Otto, and you always will be.
And splat! Nah, I saved him, for God knows what reason. Alright, Otto. Time for one final epic showdown. This boss fight is pretty cool, much simpler than the earlier fights. Basically, web him up twice, then he'll electrify the ground, and you need to hit him with a large object so you can knock him off. Rinse and repeat, and we end up on the side of the building. The second part doesn't allow you to use any web moves, so you just gotta dodge and punch. The thing I didn't like about this was that it forces you to use this specific suit and this specific suit power, even though I had already set up a loadout that I liked. Minor complaint, but still. Eventually, Peter just pulls Octavius' interface out, cutting his connection with his arms and causing him to freefall. Bye, Otto. See you next fall. Oh shit, the anti-serum. How in the hell are you still alive? Did that not break your spine?
If you'll help me, do everything I can. I'll make sure you get the best help. No! If they put me away, they'll take my arms. I'll be trapped in this useless body.
You know, this is a fitting end for him. He'll know he failed, and he'll be in prison for the rest of his life. Until he inevitably breaks out and we gotta do this shit all over again. Unfortunately, it's too late to save May. Well, it isn't, but this is the only sample of the anti-serum we have, and using it on one person would effectively doom everyone else, so we have to consider the needs of the many versus the needs of the few here. Turns out May knew Peter was Spider-Man all along, just like Otto did. This guy is not great at hiding his identity. The screen fades to black as we hear May's heart monitor slow down and eventually flatten. It's a solemn ending to the game. Honestly, though, I feel like this is a fitting end. It shows that Peter's unwillingness to take things a step further eventually led to a much worse outcome. Had he offed Lee the first chance he got, then this wouldn't have happened. Had he chose to not leave Otto alone and monitor him, he could have prevented this. The signs were right there in front of him. He wanted to resolve things the right way, but in the end, everyone ended up paying for it. And so this ending is kind of a reflection of what those decisions, that unwillingness, eventually led to. Of course, this is just my interpretation of it. We get a couple after credit scenes. Miles got his spider powers now, and Harry is living black goo apparently, probably foreshadowing the sequel. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I know I haven't done the DLC yet, and there's still a couple side quests I need to do, but this video is already getting pretty long, and according to How Long to Beat, the DLC is another 10 hours at least. So I think it's more appropriate to put the DLC in a separate video, and I feel like this is a good ending point for this video anyway. I thought this was an amazing game. It is bloated a bit by all the tasks that you have to do around the city, which can be a bit tedious and repetitive after a while. You could only really fight the same gang of enemies so many times before it becomes boring, but that didn't dampen the overall experience much. If anything, it would have cost it like 0.5 if I was using a number scale. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you feel so inclined, please do the things that engage the algorithm so we can feed the beast we call YouTube. If you want to see my videos the second they drop, please hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell so YouTube will actually give you the notifications. Or don't, that last part isn't necessary. I actually don't have the bell on for the majority of channels I'm subscribed to. I understand if you want to keep your notifications bar neat and clean, but hopefully you will stick around for my next video, which will come out, I don't know, but it's probably going to be the Spider-Man DLC.